Because every leader is a madman who sees the end from the beginning and hook himself unto the end, unshakably asking the followers to come. And if a leader does not hook himself properly, the followers get jittery. That's why I love that version of the Bible where Peter saw vision. People say he saw Christ. What he saw was vision. Something happening impossible. He saw vision walking on water. And he said to you, if you be Christ, bid me come. And the vision said to him, come. He has hooked himself to the end. And when he was coming, he started doing what the visionary was doing. He was walking on water. But behold, because he is not the architect of the vision, he lost track by distractions, by criticisms. Listen, this thing you are about to build, Vice Chancellor, this project you have taken to, are you sure you'll finish it during your tenure? This Vice Chancellor, are you not playing politics? You want people to notice you? That's why I put all these projects. Are you sure you don't want to run for governor of your state? This was what Peter had, and began to look down. Leaders don't look down, leaders look up. Never you follow a leader who has no vision. And never you follow a leader who is not focused. Every leader must they have the capacity to solve problems. You know, I don't like people sharing. That's why I tell people, listen, Imo State is the richest state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And some people say to me, how? You know, very easy question. How? Why? When? Leaders don't ask how. They don't ask why. They don't ask when. Followers ask how, why, when. So I declare that Imo State is the richest state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and everybody has counted that, listen, it gets about 3.4 billion, and some states gets like 34, 40 billion. So what I collect in 2 months, some states, what I collect in like 6 months, some states collect in 1 month. But I'm not talking about money. I was talking about vision. The Bible says, my people are dead for lack of knowledge. They say, where there's no vision, my people perish. He did say, where there's no money. He did not say where there's no cash, or where there's no dollar, or where there's no naira. It's where there's no vision, my people perish. And every leader does not look at what is available to commence work. Vice Chancellor, the day you begin to look at the bank account, you will do nothing. Because bank account can never be full. That's the problem we have about leadership. And leaders don't procrastinate. Leaders is now. They don't ask how. It's now. That's a leader. In Imo State, I tell the story, I'm sure some of you have not heard. There's a crazy man in Imo State. Today I'm doing more than 1,000 kilometers of road. I'm building 305 new schools, 27 new general hospitals. I'm building the Ikembo Jubu Center. Ikembo Jubu Center, Hero Square, 2 universities coming up. Declare free education from primary to secondary to university. Pays children bursary in primary school. Provide free uniform, free lockers, free shoes and school bags to every child. And they said to me, the offense now is, my offense is no longer, where is the money of Imo State? Nobody asks the question anymore. It's a question, how is he getting this money? I'm talking about leadership. Leaders are blind. Leaders do not see with the conventional eyes. Leaders see from the eyes of the mind. What we have today in Nigeria are call them leaders, people with ambition. No leader has ambition. Every leader has vision. Ambition is that goal which you have set for yourself and which you must calculate the resources and the style to attain it. While vision is innate with the spirit, you don't even know what you are doing. You are simply a madman believing in what you believe in. That's why in Nigeria we have more politicians than leaders, and politicians are busy thinking about the next election. Leaders are thinking about the next generation. Do you know why democracy has become a failure in Nigeria? But I tell you something. Democracy came like a wild wind which traveled from America to all parts of the world, and it became the best form of government, no doubt. But it was unwise and foolishness of Africa to adopt American democracy in total without culturalizing it in tandem with our people's culture. So democracy is defined as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But I have redefined democracy in Imo State. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people, and with the people. That is why I'll quickly introduce what is called fourth tier of government. I'm sure you have heard about it. The fourth tier of government brings you the doctrine of Ohasherism and Ofusherism. I don't know why anytime I speak this my English, people laugh. What makes you believe that those language spoken in the dictionary was not manufactured by somebody? Ohasherism in the African context is a situation where Oha share Ofonya Gahericha. Which is what is called the bottom-top approach. Unlike what we practice today, top-bottom approach of Fushirism, of Fonyin Shirioha, and Hagonago. I don't know, am I communicating? So my fourth-tier government is about Ohasherism and not Ofusherism. Because the principles of Ofusherism brings about what is called Kwashokorism. Now, you might ask me, and let me come on to myself now as a governor. The best way to describe most of us, almost all of us, is cashierism. Cashier. Kwashokorism we practice through officialism is a situation where the head is too big, which is called the central government, too big, and the state called the stomach very thin, and the leg called the local government feeble. So they keep working in a Kwashoko manner. I don't know how many men are here when you see a woman with a big head and stomach bulging like Kwashoko, legs like broom. Will you marry her? That's why nobody is marrying the Nigerian economy. The head is too big and the leg cannot carry it. So anytime breeze blow, like there's a drop in oil price, you see us walking like we are going to Anytime the vice chancellor does not get a subvention in a month, you see hypertension will catch everybody. Leaders must decentralize power. And that brings me to my final theory of Rochanomics, Rocha's economic theory. I advanced this theory to help for African development because I weep every day in my life knowing that my people are dead for lack of knowledge. Today, we are follow. Look at the computer now. You can never beat any master in his own game. For as long as Africa continues in this style, we shall remain a poor nation for history. There must be a reversal theory of power. We have ignored our culture. How can you beat an English person in English language? In fact, the best they can do for you is to applaud for you because you spoke well. But that does not mean that you're a master in that game. Africa has not changed. Listen. Thank you, students, children, thank you. Because what we go through to become a professor, other Western people don't go through it to become a professor. First, they say you must pass English and pass mathematics before you can get a JAMB. Who put that law? What does it represent? What, tell me, excuse me, Vice Chancellor, tell me, what does that mean? Mathematics and English language as a prescript for admission is another form of neocolonialism. I thought you have said if you don't pass Igbo language. Do you know why mathematics is difficult? Mathematics is difficult because nobody has been able to explain it to me in Igbo language. If you ever explain 2x plus 3x is equals to 5 in the simple equation, nobody will beat me in this world. My problem is that I have to learn English language first before I understand the mathematics, before I begin to solve the question. So the world is tilted this way for Africans. And for every African to get, it's not this, it's this way. So we are going from the bottom to the top, and people are already at the hilltop. And then they say, oh, your master run. How can you run with a man who is already on the hilltop? Why don't you have a school here? Specific university for specific projects. Every year, 100,000 people come out, no job. That's why I quickly set up what is called Imo College of Advanced Professional Studies. It's doing well. Today, what I do there is, listen, you must be a graduate, you have no job, then come. We are doing what is called oil and gas department, underground water welding, NDT tests, computer, and all these specific things. So when I brought in Shell, I'm already preparing the citizens of Imo State for job. That's the kind of education we need now. So I suggest that after university degree, federal government should introduce institutions of professional studies. So after your degree, you can go and master in one small thing. So university must change their style to produce for us what our economy needs for development. That's why my Rochanomics operates in 4 principles, and I'll be fast. 1 is sacrifice. Rochanomics principles, 1 is sacrifice. For every leader to be a leader, he must have the mentality of sacrifice. When I came in as the governor, I gave up my 4 billion naira security votes. If you cannot make sacrifice, you have no business with leadership. Sacrifice means giving away those things that otherwise would have been so comfortable for you, so that the ordinary masses can have a reason to smile. The other part of it, and that's why I love Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he He gave his... Okay, the only English there that is very attractive to me is the word only. God gave crying. For I so love you that I gave my only. Only means painfully giving. Our leaders must learn the act of painfully giving to the society. I bought all G's for my commissioners. Meanwhile, I've not bought any single car for myself as a governor. Sacrifice is the name of the game. The other point is culture. And quote me, this is my quote. Every society of mankind is created by God with their own culture and natural and material resources. For no nation or society can grow outside their culture and natural resources, for both has a relationship with God. RochasTv. Our problem is today, you don't even know whether we are Americans. Look at the dressing here. Confusing. Some are Chinese here. Some are Americans. Some are Indians. Some are South Africans. Who are you? Your culture is the identity with which the whole world sees you. It's a mirror. How do the world see us? Do you know anytime you call an American man and show him this house, he doesn't get impressed? But I wish you have designed this with unko as a ceiling and some oshishi as pillars. He said, wow, what technology is this? I've made this compulsory that anywhere I go abroad, I must speak Igbo language. So I went to Kosovo, invitation by the Deputy Prime Minister. And the man started and spoke his language. They interpreted. I said, Najulam catch. Is that so? At course, it is not so. Na kawara here. Deputy Prime Minister of Kosovo. Kangwaza kikawezoku. Obodano. Dika okaro bodai. Because mama tells I put 2 million naira. I think Mata Abbas was with me, all of them were with me. Then the senator Msikawa, or maybe before us, Your Excellency, the governor said I should tell you. Okay. That's about the culture. We must go back to our culture and our language. The other one is political will. Leaders must have political will. You can never be a leader if you don't have a political will. Ability to say no when you ought to say yes. What if your wife comes to you, Vice Chancellor, and says, this is my in-law. Since you started Vice Chancellor, I don't benefit anything from you. She will say it one day. I've never seen the reason for this whole thing. Is it all that I paid for? And she said that because of our convention. I said, I have this my brother here. He's the only last born of our sister. And he has 2 credits. And I want him to go to university. Can you at that point say, no, I will not do it because it's against the policy of the institution? Political will. Leaders who do not have political will cannot make success. The 4th one is what is called decentralization. Leaders decentralize. Ability to let people do your job and you take the credit for it. You know, the wisest, smart leader is the one that gets people to do the job and he sits on top and take the credit. Do you know this government of RochasTv now? No matter what any commissioner does, it's me. The only way you can describe the attitude of a leader is lion. The greatest animal on earth is lion. And watch his style. When a lion finds his target, watch. He doesn't make noise. Leaders don't make noise. When he makes that sign, he has called all the small cubs. They all gather. Meanwhile, there's an elephant. You see how big an elephant is? As big as the nation's problem. But it takes a lion who is a leader to deal with that elephant. You must have an attitude of a lion if you want to be a leader. First of all, he sent that signal to frighten the huge elephant. You see, every leader must know how to package himself. If you don't package yourself, they will price you low. The difference between pure water and bottled water is packaging. When I came down there and I saw this man in suit, well dressed, I know that's the vice chancellor. But if I had seen somebody wearing jeans and this, maybe I would have passed him. So lions package themselves well. They package themselves well. First of all, he blows out that hair that makes it more frightening. You know what the lion does? Have you seen it fight? The head lion does not fight. He gives sign. This small, is it called? Will fly on the elephant. This one will fly, this one will fly. They just catch the leg, catch the body, catch the tail. This one will fling it around. All of them will fly out again. They persist. Leaders don't quit. So they keep attacking. Before this one will chop small leg. After a while, 2 hours, the big, huge elephant gets tired. You see it very down. And they will go. But when they get the elephant down, the whole corpse again go back. Watch it, very interesting drama. The head, the leader goes back to confirm that it's dead. But guess who goes to the war? Is a female cow. And he asked the big lion, why are you not fighting? He said, no. I'm sitting quiet to protect the future generation. God bless you.
It is a well-established fact that certainly the problem of Nigeria over the years had been a leadership problem. The Nigerian leadership challenge is certainly not insurmountable. With insight and knowledge-based information such as is espoused by RochasTv, we can safely declare that the aspirations of our founding fathers will certainly come to pass. The problem with Nigeria is that Nigeria does not know its problems. RochasTv.
Only one person. Go back.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to announce the arrival of the former governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Rochas, the Owele of Nigeria. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, Your Excellency. Also here with us, we have the representative of Innocent Motors here with us, the director, and representing the managing director and chief executive officer of Innocent Motors, Chief Jonas Maduapuchuku Oju. Please a round of applause for him. You are welcome. Only see Yadi. Thank you. The policeman. My brother. Your Excellencies, announcing the arrival of the 19th IG Police, Alhaji Idris Abubakar. You're welcome, sir. The 19th Inspector General of Police is in the building. A round of applause. You're welcome, sir. The only Owele of Nigeria, former governor of Imo State, a philanthropist par excellence, a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic, a mover and shaker of Nigeria's educational sector, the one and only distinguished senator, former governor, Rochas Owele is in the building. You're welcome, sir.
You're from Plateau? Yes. What part of Plateau are you from? Lantan Kaka. Is that Kaka, is it? Yes, sir. Lantan North. They produce very strong people. She looks very confident. She's waiting to explode in her world. She can't wait. She wants to explode. She just wants to, you know, a child who has an idea of making the teachers proud, parents proud, is a very good child. She wants to make somebody proud. So I hope you're going to give me 6 A's. Let's watch this. So you know her? Actually, she can communicate very heavier.
Were you nominated?
Yes.
Somebody defeated you?
Yes.
They defeated you?
During the manifesto.
What happened? I showed you your capacity. I love my children. I love you so much. I wish I could give you the whole world. I'm working hard so you can enjoy your world, you know? Where are you right from? What kind of baby? Boko? Are you serious? Are you from Boko? Nenge? Canada?
You grew up here.
You can't speak TV, eh? Can't speak. Please, when I talk to you, just give somebody the Rochas Foundation voice. You know, there's a way we speak.
Well, put class to it, excuse me, you know.
Give us a Rochas Foundation voice. What do you want to do when you grow up? When you graduate? Want to be a lawyer, yeah. Someone should try to be a judge. Be a judge is very good. She looks like she wants to be a judge. Good. You have very good students, you know? Please sit down there. Do you have anything that you want to tell your father? Your father is here. Anything? Nothing? We have more. How many girls are here? How many boys?
More girls.
In the whole school, eh?
Just girls. And we have more girls than the boys.
Why? You should try and balance in admission. Try and balance. Please.
The difference is 35, 37. We are 430. Something like the boys are 413. So the difference is not much.
Yeah, but try and balance it out. You need the boys to hold the home because the girls will all get married and the boys will start. Some of them will not marry Ghana, marry America, marry Russia. The girls are not addressed. But the boys will still be here. The boys, I mean, we'll be with daddy here, you know. Don't worry, my daughters, whenever you marry, I'll visit you. You all look sound, you all look quite serious, but I want to advise you, take your studies very seriously, okay? Don't let any other thing take your attention away. This period is what is called the period of temptation. SS3 is the most difficult time in school. If you can overcome it, then sky is your... Exactly. You know why it's very difficult? This is the period that the boys want to become like boys. Because your voice changes and you notice that some changes in your body system. Your brain begins to tell you a lot of stories. You just want to try certain things you have not tried before. It's natural. And that's what puts you in trouble. Now your face begin to tune to enjoyment. You know, things, what we call high life, which is actually low life in your sense. This is the period that you want to smoke. And this is when there's peer pressure. Other students from other schools of your mates. This is the time you want to show off. Now, those of them who have uncles who have cars want to show off for it. This is the time to show off. This is the time you want to smoke. This is the time you want to wear baggy jeans, the one that falls on the little buttons, and you want to wear them and show off. This is the time you want to try talking to a girl, and if it's not working, you drink beer to get yourself high. You try to have solution, you know, smoke solution, smoke cigarette, just to say, hey, when you say, I love you, that kind of thing. It's a time, you are tempted to do so, be careful. Voice, be careful, is that right?
Yes.
You can ruin your future within these 2 months. You can ruin your whole future and life within these 3 months. And when that happens to you, it's all full of regrets. Some people will end up being a carpenter or those that stand by the roadside and say, enter, passenger, passenger, passenger. That should not be a portion. So if I were you, take this study serious. Even when you are sleeping, tell yourself, I have to make this. You have to make it. Because the space between you and your success in life now is this life. But if you don't make the A's in your work, what else can you do? It means that all the contract you have to pay for being here in the first place is wasted. Because when you pass, I pass. When you have credits, I have credits. But when you lose, I lose. But it means that I've spent these 6 years all for nothing. So think about it when you're doing your lives. And this is the time you should think about your future much more than anything else. And for the girls, be careful, my daughters. That has not been at school, except for once I saw that in the Woko, where you don't get about marriage at school. And the husband, I was crying for the husband. I said, please, you know, he took her to Kaduna, to Kano. The boy was doing some pharmaceutical business. this girl was going admission to pharmacy. This man married her. And I told the parents said to me, oh, we don't have money. I'm just giving this girl a way to see where the husband can help us get something at home. That was my biggest regret where I was paying. And this girl who got admission and second to read pharmacy could no longer go to school. Already before then she has 3 babies. Oh. Last time I saw her, she was begging for 5,000 naira. The girl should be very careful. This is the time also, all of a sudden, you notice that your body system has changed a bit. Adolescence is coming in. This time you feel like wearing a wig. Is it called wig? Instead you want to put up foundation and make your lipstick and make your eyelashes and do all that. This time you want to know whether you are really a girl and how beautiful you are. In fact, you prefer to be saying you're beautiful now than you're intelligent. And that's the destruction of your life. Look at those who have made it in life. They didn't make it because of foundation. They didn't make it because of lipsticks and because of eyebrows or because of trying to wear hot linen. And what if you don't take time now, this is how you get a rush at this stage for those very, very funny people called men who pass by the road side and want to give you a ride. Sometimes in a borrowed car. And this is the time that you think 5,000 something, 10,000 something is nothing. Somebody might just give you 10,000 or 20,000 now, but it's taking your future away from you. See for where you hold yourself. Because time for everything will come. And make sure you face these studies. And make sure you make it to PhD level. Look, let me tell you, from now to 4 years, you can get to a degree. From degree 1 year, 5 years, you get to Masters. Masters 3 years, you get to a PhD. So all you have more now is like 8 years. And you have PhD. How old are you? 16 plus 8 will give you what? 24. If you're a PhD holder at 24, PhD holder at 24, the world will lay a red carpet for you. If you're a PhD at 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, you have a PhD, the whole world will lay a carpet for you. Red carpet. And that should be your best husband. Marriage education is the best husband. If you have PhD, you have the best husband in the world. Anytime you pick it up, he's waiting for you. Say, stay here, stay here. He's always a good boy. Say, PhD is a good boy. It doesn't fail. It cannot fail you. And once you put the PhD down, you know, it can't break your heart. And it gives you food. It makes the best. It loves you more than anything else. And you can always put him in your pocket. In the pocket. You can put that one in the pocket. As you travel anywhere, it goes with you. And it gives you confidence. So next, young boys, now first degree doesn't work anymore. There are more than 20 million Nigerians looking for a job now with masters, first degree. But there are those who are looking for a job with PhD. So you must go to the sky quickly and collect it. And you can make it. Say, I will make it. I will make it. It's a determination between you and yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody. It's just a decision. You make a decision that I will succeed. And if what this is life for now, life for now, you either have to suffer now and enjoy later, or enjoy now and suffer later. Let me tell you a story of what happened to me in Lagos. I was driving in a convoy, and I saw one of these boys with my friend Lagos. This boy was running with handkerchief, trying to sell to one of my others a handkerchief. He was running. I think one of the poor boys wanted to get a handkerchief. He was running. Before he was running, something pulled him, he fell down. Then I told my friend, look at that boy, can we stop my hand? Can we stop? My friend said to me, leave him. He said this was the running. The teachers were telling him to run. When he was young, he refused to run. Then he has to run now. So he said whether to run now or run later. But you have to run when you are young. You have to run when you are old. And those phrases hard work. Hard work, you can't go wrong. And there's competition among yourself, you okay? Don't you have classmates? Some of you thought I just came in and became Rochas. I didn't just become Rochas. I have my schoolmates. I came back to Jos there. I saw a lot of my schoolmates from back then. I went to St. Joseph Primary School back then. I went to the high school Kasaya. I saw some of them there. Some of my mates today are drivers. Some of them were running, but the police wouldn't allow them. They're running to see how they can just touch you. To help them. But I wasn't for a big family. I was a street trader selling oranges and coconuts. I know that. I remember when I was in Mango, I went to sell my mango. Mango, you know mango? I don't know mango. That's why I speak all the languages. I can speak Fulani, I can speak Swahili, Lankan, Biro. I was selling things, I wasn't proud of it. But I remember I had some of one boy from my school, one girl from my school, one boy, their parents are rich in the sense that they have this canteen. So when they came where I was selling my Africa, they were laughing at me. See, I can't pass. They were laughing at me. But I wasn't ashamed. Because I knew my father didn't have it. I have to do what I can do to survive. When I was elected governor, they said old boys association will come to visit me. I saw them. Wow. One of them became a teacher in bed. I have not been paid for 11 months. You can no longer call me that poor boy. You can't. Because my mopole is outside now. Am I right? Yes. This emotion has been celebrated all over the world. But there was a time I had to pay the price. Whether to enjoy now or enjoy then. Then I used to have my friends there. There's no called hot peak. They would just, I don't know if you know that. They would just use hot iron to comb their hair to come out. The boys. And then they remember now, you know. And then West Call. Then everybody's walking, everybody wants to feel like important. Go to school. School is not important. Teachers, who is the teacher? One of them is their teacher. Teacher, be careful. But today, he's a taxi driver. Drive for somebody. What life do you want to live? Ask yourself now. So don't tell me it's because only when your father is successful, successful. Some of you are China, their parents were China, and my father was but every day I have to study. I was studying every day. Put my legs inside water so that I don't sleep. Ready for WAEC. But some of you, before you know it, you want to sleep. Now I'm tired. Tired for what? I feel like sleeping. Sleep for what? If you sleep, if you keep sleeping now, that's why if you keep sleeping now, when the person dies, it becomes a ghost. So there's no time for sleeping. Say there's no time for sleeping. There's the time to work as a young man. Then the time for sleep will come. Like now, if I want to sleep, you know how many times I will just sleep and take my time. I will not be in a hurry. The time to drink champagne, the time to drink beer will come. The time to wear mini skirt will come. The time to go to party will come. But not now. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Yeah? You know any marriage? Are you listening to me? You promise me?
Yes.
Promise to come, stand up. Did you promise Daddy? Yes. You know any marriage? Are you sure? Yeah, don't let them. Where's your dad? Okay, mom. I'm in the house. I'm with mom. They're home? What's your dad doing? What's your mom? Yeah. But they not force you into any marriage. Have they talked about that? Maybe they're waiting after school now. They'll tell you. One gang, the son of boss. That one is working in the Ministry of Agriculture. He wants to marry you. Then he will go and borrow one suit. But when you go to the house, it blocks. That's how you do this. For some good times. Not the first time. Tell yourself. Promise me. Are you sure? You have to follow up the time.
Yes, sir.
Sit down. You have to tell him what to do in school after every day. The same that we have to like you do. Where's the dad? At what? Look at mom. Are you okay? Do you have any problem? You pray a lot? Start praying. I think there's someone who can pray. Please, that's a gift of prayers. You pray a lot, huh? Amen. All of you. How many friends do you have in town? You don't have friends in town. Please don't drink. You don't need those friends. Say I don't need those friends for now. The book is my friend. Hello. Are you a good man? My brother, the Commander-in-Chief of the Radio Microphone Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The DG, thank you for finding me worthy to deliver this lecture this day. If Radio Nigeria is to be a political party, that will be my real party. For one reason, uplifting the people and uniting the nation. This is the essence of what our change mantra stands for. Your Excellencies here, too numerous mention. This is why I find it easier to say, my people, my people. As you can see, I've just been drafted to be a guest lecturer. And in my usual characteristics, I'm not used to a written text. So do not expect from me a formal lecture. I'm going to give a talk. Because in the first place, I'm not qualified to be a lecturer. How can I be a lecturer when professors are here? What qualification do I have? And if I want to sound like a lecturer, they will begin to mark my thesis. But thank God also that I'm here giving a talk in the name of lecture, and professors are sitting down listening to me. What a wonderful day. This must go down in my CV as man who lectured the professors. But on a serious note, if my views have been consulted, and if Ladan had discussed with me before this invitation for this lecture, I would have chosen a topic more suitable to my talent. I would have loved to discuss of free education as an instrument for national development. I would have liked to talk about philanthropy. But here he dragged me to speak on a very controversial topic, change. And I'm not Muhammad Buhari, the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the Change Armed and Armless Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So asking me now to speak on this change is like setting a trap for me. But let me say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I will speak and bear my heart. But in this lecture, and by the way, there will be no handout at the end of this lecture, so make sure you make your notes. I will bear my heart, and I will tell Nigerians how I feel about the entire entity called this nation, because of my genuine concern for this generation and subsequent generation of Nigerians yet unborn. In other words, this is the only golden opportunity for us to get it right. And if we don't get it right now as a nation, we can as well forget it. This is why this very topic is very crucial at this moment. But let me come back to this topic. Managing change in a democracy, the Nigerian situation. Rather than sounding like a lecturer, let me take a more practical approach by first of all try to understand what does Salisu Ladan and his people want me to talk about. Managing change in a democracy, the Nigerian example. And for those of us who understand, let me take a definition now. My lecture have started, by the way. Managing, for me, is simply running a thing, business. Be it government, be it organization, be it a family. Everyone is a manager in one form or the other. But here, from the Webster New Dictionary, defines managing as directing, if you like to use the word. With a certain level of skill towards ensuring the compliance in an organization. But that definition is not relevant for what I want to talk about. Because for me, managers are those who maintain the status quo and who go by the rules and regulations of an organization. So bringing a manager to a change will not be the right terminology, but rather you can bring a leader to a change. But the pivot upon which this lecture will rotate is the word change. What is change? Let me also tell you, from that same dictionary, give me a very nice definition, which is doing something new in a radical manner. And that quickly hit my heart to say, that's the picture Nigerians have of President Buhari before they elected him. The Buhari of change. The Buhari of queuing online. The Buhari of zero tolerance to corruption. That's what brought him in. To some people, my question will be, does change means doing something differently in a democratic structure? Does change means changing from one form of government to another form of government? Does change connote replacement and displacement reaction in the course of election? Because in chemistry we said elements that are higher in the electrochemical series must always displace those lower in the electrochemical series. So given parties that are higher in the number of people will always displace those parties that have less number of people. Is that the change we're talking about? And my idea is that you could change a government without changing the living standard of the people. That is not change. You can change a minister and change a service chief without actually changing the system. That is not the change I think you want me to talk about. We are talking about change that really reflects positively on the life of the ordinary man. But let me say to you that change has come and change is here with us. But let me reserve it. I'll bring it again later in the course of this lecture. But let me again define the word democracy. Democracy is that form of government where the supremacy of the people will always reign. In other words, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But democracy came like a wild wind from America, traversing all over the world. Some places creating havoc, and some places creating development. A nation that understands the essence of democracy have developed with it. A nation that do not understand have become down in the course of democracy. That again is a serious matter for debate. How have we fared in democracy in Nigeria? What has democracy produced for us? Let me say to you, shockingly enough and surprisingly, democracy in Nigeria has produced for us only political leaders without state leaders. Democracy has produced for us politicians who think about the next election constantly and not state leaders who will think about the next generation. So the challenge we have today is that in the course of democracy in Nigeria, once you get elected into office, your next action plan is how to win the next election and not necessarily how to put food on the table of the common man. This is the type of change we need to address. Because people say you could change. Thank God people are not changing their wives and not changing their husbands. Because change in a democracy is quite a different story. Let me say something here before I go on. Do you know if you take a bottle of Coke and pour out the Coke inside the bottle of Fanta, and you drink that bottle of Fanta, you're not drinking Fanta, you're drinking Coke. So changing the container does not amount to change, but changing the content. I also buttress this point in relation to democracy. So back again, we are looking for leaders in a democracy and not managers in a democracy. And thank God that President Muhammad Buhari, today, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has the characteristics, the attribute, the personality that signifies change. And I want to tell all Nigerians that we are now in the right place. So democracy for me, and for those of us who agree with us, is that democracy in Nigeria has not been well practiced. Maybe this is the first time the masses of Nigeria desiring change could come out in a mass to vote a leader of their choice. Before, police, former IG, with due respect, INEC, army, they determine who occupies a political position in Nigeria, and those who control the means of production, cash. That is not democracy. That is democracy. The experience we had in the last election, where you can see people literally with guns carrying boxes with uniform, is rather less than what democracy has asked us to do in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that change in democratic structure must come. And I want to commend President Buhari for the changes that is going on. And I'm told that the committee has been set up to review the elections that just took place and the role of the military and police and INEC in that matter. That might be the way to start. So if there's action taken now, and this action taken as a deterrent, next time when you call an army man or police or INEC to do the wrong thing, he will tell you Buhari is by the side. Because the fear of Buhari is the beginning of political wisdom. So I'm going to be talking about democracy much later, but let me go to the issue of Nigeria. Let me define Nigeria. There's no definition of Nigeria in dictionary. And I don't know who can define Nigeria, but let me make an attempt. Nigeria is this sleeping giant of Africa with a population of more than 180 million people, theoretically, because we do not even know our population. We assume. With arable land, with energetic youths, diversified in blessings, sweet crude, tantalite, gold, silver, that had every blessings of God, but yet is considered as one of the underdeveloped nations of the world. A nation that got its independence 55 years ago, 1960. By the way, Nigeria is not 55 years old. Nigeria is 100 years old. Because people they use Nigeria's independence to tell me about Nigeria's age. Nigeria can't be 55. Because during 1914, the days of amalgamation, Nigeria was existing before amalgamation. But let's talk the time we came together. It's 100 years now. And 100 years later, Nigeria is still having a lecture on how to move Nigeria forward. We're still sitting here discussing what to do for a change to come so there will be future for our country. I think it calls for sober reflection. And that's why I will tell you the truth today. If you want to seize my bicycle, go ahead, it's outside. So Nigeria is 100 years of age, for crying out loud. Who got their independence on the platter of gold without struggling for it. And that's the beginning of the apparent laziness in the Nigerian nation. We want everything easy coming, cheap coming, easy money, easy life. Most nations that got the independence on a platter of gold are no do-well nation. Those who struggled and spilled blood for it are today better off for it. And the worst part, it was Lord Lugard, even his wife, who gave us this name, Niger area. It was the wife that gave us Niger area. And we had a very wonderful anthem. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Many have argued, should you not have stayed with the British up to this time? Some have argued, why didn't they take power from the colonial masters without understanding direction? And since then, we have had governments upon government. Military has come in with the view to correct the past. Different presidents have come, different heads of states have come to this country. All working towards making Nigeria great. And my question this morning, would you then say that this head of states and presidents that came with the intention to fail? Definitely not. No military president that came with the intention to fail. No civilian president came with the intention to destroy this country. But there's a missing link. The missing link is leadership and vision contained in the medulla oblongata of that leader. Because there's nothing wrong with the head of state, but there can be something wrong with the state of the head. Leadership is everything. And that's why we've been crying for a change for the right leader. Most people, anytime you see an organization not doing well, hold the leader responsible. Like that. If FRC is not doing well, hold him responsible. If Imo State is not doing well, hold me responsible. That's what is called leadership. A leader is that man who can inspire, encourage, motivate people towards achieving a particular result in a particular manner. That's the leader we've been waiting for, and that's what I want to talk about. Leadership in a change, rather than managing status quo. Because leaders are crazy people. Leaders are mad people who knows where they are going to and hook themselves onto the end while asking followers to come. Unshakably. That's what is called passion. So leaders in the style of exchanging or giving dividend of democracy or whatever, most people don't understand them. And they have often criticized more than anyone else. Any manager, anyone that you applaud while in leadership is a manager. Leaders don't get applause while in the course of that job. They get applause years later when they leave. When America with President Buhari to see Obama, and we sat there. This reminds me, I have to say this. And President Buhari exchanged pleasantries with President Obama. And I watched, I saw the beauty of my nation. When the American president took his time, more than 15 minutes, elogizing President Buhari as a man of impeccable character. Our nation rose from zero to the greatest height because leadership has emerged. And I sat there, I saw the encomiums poured on my president. And President Obama told him, I'm willing to work with you. Just tell me how you want us to go. I'm here. That wouldn't have happened many years ago. But I turned around and I said to myself, Mr. President, can I speak to President Obama? He said, go ahead. I said, Mr. President Obama, I'm happy to see you and your brother exchanging these wonderful pleasantries. But my question is, you see, I know you have challenges with Obamacare. There are certain decisions a president will take that doesn't go down well with the people. And sometimes it's for the good of the people. If President Buhari takes such decisions in the course of trying to change Nigeria for better, and the people are raising dust and everything, when he turns around, can he see a President Obama brother behind him? So, leaders are radicals. And you should expect a radical change. And change is not easy. So let me come to issue, having defined Nigeria, situation is simply locating a thing in relation to its environment. So I think what Ladan wants me to do is to x-ray the challenges, if you like, that will face this change mantra under the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari. But let me come. One, there's a major issue that must be addressed and addressed now. The issue of unity of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I'm happy Sardauna did mention about Mossab. And I wish he had gone a little further into it. But today, thank God Almighty, that the only force holding Nigeria today is God. Because all qualities or qualifications of nation that has broken, all of them are in Nigeria. And all the characteristics of a broken nation is in Nigeria. Look at what is happening. Insurgents in the Northeast. But yet we are together as a nation. Look at the crisis in the South-South. Yet we are together as a nation. Look at our last election when we thought there would be no Nigeria. Yet we came together as a nation. I think God is not done with us yet. You see how bigger plans for us as a nation. Look at the Syria now, Iraq, Iran, Lebanon. These countries started with us. But they're in deep crisis now than you can think of. Only a few days ago, bombing took place in France. They have more problems than we have in Nigeria. So we must thank God and not take this grace of God for granted. So the unity of our country is very prime. That's why I love that old national anthem which says, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. That anthem came out of concern. The person that produced that anthem knew that Nigeria will have that problem. When, first of all, the first political parties we had in Nigeria was the one championed by Zik, NCNC, the one championed by Sardauna, MPC, and the one championed by Awolowo, AG. That was the beginning of the division of this country. And voting was along the same pattern. That's what we are trying to rebuild today as a nation. This issue of tribalism and sectionalism. As it stands today, few months ago, when President Jonathan was in power, it appears to the people as though it is the time for the South or the Christians. Today is President Buhari. You also have the challenge that in some local Nigerians, it will be the time for Muslims or the time for Northerners. No nation can build under this circumstance situation. We must unite. And that was why, during the presidential election, I kept my ticket for governor, and I troubleshooted as a presidential candidate. I ran with President Muhammad Buhari. He was a candidate like myself. We were colleagues at that time. But I did so because I do not believe that Nigerian national offices of power must be on the basis of rotation. Let he that has something upstairs, irrespective of where he comes from, Christian or Muslim, occupy the position for as long as there will be food in the gastrovascular cavity of the common man. I asked him this question. Does religion speak the language of poverty? Does it know, when hunger comes, does it know any tribe? In fact, sometimes when you want to eat in a restaurant, your brother who is the same religion with you and tribe, who doesn't cook well, you jump him in the night and go to a non-brother, so to say, and eat the proper food. Even when you want to sew your clothes, if the person who tells us well is not your brother, you go for him and leave that to your brother who tells us well. So where does this tribalism come from? And it's been transferred from generation to generation. Our leaders do not help matters. That's why I was talking to Sardauna and I said, Sardauna, you must come to Southeast as chairman of Arewa Consultative Forum. There's no interaction between ACF, Ohanese, and the Afenifere group. These are blocks that need to interact. Even this morning, I said to Mr. President, I said, Mr. President, there's need for the traditional rulers in the north to move down to the southeast and south-south and stay for 2 weeks. And those in the south and southeast should move down to the north and stay for 2 weeks. We need to unite this country. Uplifting the people, uniting the nation. The change has this problem to worry about. That's why when the issue of Mossop came in, they had their last rally 3 days ago in Imo State. And that was to be the main rally to create the catastrophic destruction. When the information came to me that Mossop was coming to Imo State, I haven't heard that Mossop operated in rivers and they were killed. And Anambra, what happened? Things were bombed, and Delta. They were coming to Imo. Then I had a Security Council meeting. with the help of the president and service chiefs. I said, no shooting. Give them proper escorts. So they were followed. As they go around, they prayed at every junction, and they continued. And they ended up in Imo State without a dropping of blood. But because of the way they felt they were handled, in the night, my chief of staff told me that he got a call from one person that Mossop want to see me, leadership of Mossop. I said, that might be, well, a very good story. So I called Mr. President. I said, Mr. President, I need to receive these boys. He said, go ahead, wonderful. Do you know at about 11 o'clock, Mossop arrived at my house. It's not a very pleasant situation. But before then, I've asked 3 sets of security men to conduct search. Because I want my life too. I had a meeting with them. They enumerated their grievances. What were their grievances? One, that some of them were killed at Northeast, and they ran back home. And since they came back home, they're not doing anything. Most of them are orphans, and their children are not going to school. Nobody cares about them. So they were talking that the world will hear them. And they've registered more than 7.2 million people. Second worry, that they were part of Niger Delta, but when they came for amnesty, they did not consider them. Why they submitted their arms? Number 3, that in Lagos they lock up their shops, and the traditional rulers said they should put them into lagoons. Number 4, that they have 160 corpses littered all over the mortuaries they want to bury. Number 5, and number 6, we went on and went on. But I said, is that the reason why you should declare yourself a nation? They said they want to declare themselves a nation, but all they want is that they want people to know that the same Biafra they killed yesterday. It's an ill wind that blows no one any good. Sometimes our leaders have a role to play. Because every unemployed youth in this country is a time bomb. Do you imagine now that anywhere you see 3 boys in a taxi, you are scared. Unconsciously, you are scared. And if you see 10 youths now walking towards you, you start running without somebody asking you to run. That's the situation we find ourselves in this country. So the change will address all these challenges. So the issue of unity of our country is very key. And is something that this change would have to address, and quickly too. If you go to Jos, there's what is called Angwa Ansawa. I don't know if you know about that, Sadona. You go to Kano, you have Sabongeri, where Igbos park themselves. You go to Were, you say Hausa, Amausa. In a nation where we profess unity, but yet a Lebanese man comes here, he's more accepted in the north than his brother from the southwest. An Indian man goes to Lagos, he's more accepted than an Hausa man in Lagos. I think we should, as a matter of urgency, address the issue of unity of this country. The change must also address the issue of the structure of governance in Nigeria. And like Mohammed, my brother, here you come. The way Nigeria is structured today, and this is what the change must take, is a very big federal government with a very small stomach called state government, with a very broom leg called local government. Can you imagine a man or a woman with a broom leg, with small bulging tummy, with a big head? You won't marry her. That's why nobody can marry Nigeria's economy. That's what I call the principle of kwashiorkorism in Nigerian economy. There's too much over-centralization of power in Nigeria. So whenever this big head is working, and there's breeze or wind of dropping oil price, then you see it moving like a galloping. This is why I introduced in Imo State reversal theory of power, which I call Ohashiarism. Ohashiarism is an Igbo word. Oha, the crowd or the people cooking, preparing food for one man. That man can never finish it. But where one man prepares food for the entire rest of the people will be hungry every day. That's what is called Ohashiarism, as against Ofushiarism. Because, take for instance, today we have ministries. Thank God that President Buhari has reduced the ministries. Too much of bloated. We have Minister of Work. Minister of Work will go to Owerri and award contracts of roads. And when the directors are moving here, they are moving with trust allowance. They are moving with the peripheral of office, flight ticket, sleeping allowance. And before they get there, they have spent another 20 million to go and inspect a road, which the contractor has not put about 50 million. The money that will be used to put another potable water. There's need to quickly decentralize power in Nigeria so that there will be more powers at the grassroots. In Imo State today, I have what is called, I'm sure some of you had heard it, the controversial fourth tier of government, which I call CGC, Community Government Council. Now, what I did is instead of, we have federal government in Imo State, we have state government in Imo State, we have local government in Imo State, and we have community government. After family, the next level of government is community. And this is where the traditional rulers play a very key role. Let me tell you, lie. Anytime any person in Abuja, federal government, before steals, we're here, they stole $1 billion, $2 billion. Do you know, in my village, people think it's foreign money they have taken. Nobody has a feeling for that money because it's federal government money. In the state, when they hear a governor have stolen, they say, he took state government money. Local government, say local government money. But you don't dare touch 1 naira of a community. So we, Africa, I'm talking about culture. Our culture must be made to play in this change mantra. Because every society of mankind is created by God with their natural resources, human resources, and cultural resources. For no nation can grow above their human, material, and natural, cultural resources. For those has a relationship with God. Unquote. RochasTv. Who not allow them. And what happened? JAMB said you must pass English and pass mathematics. Who put that law? Who is making life so difficult for our children? That you must have English. What's the relevance of English and mathematics for you to do anything in Nigeria? For me, it doesn't make sense. Our children suffer a lot. That for you to read medicine, you have to leave your mother's language, study English before you study the mathematics. So you're doing double job than the child who is in England. Imagine where they said mathematics. They said in mathematics I didn't do well. I was used to be good in mathematics. During my job, I was disappointed before I went back. But my problem was, one night I was reading, my father saw me, I put my legs in a bucket, took coffee to stay awake to read mathematics. And what was the problem? I was trying to understand the English. So my father said to me, my son, can you explain this thing in Igbo so I can give you the answer? So our children Nigeria is disadvantaged. How can you do a race with a man who is already on the mountaintop? You understand? And in the valley. That's with us in America and United Kingdom, developed country. They say, on your mass, go. How can you be running a man who is already on the mountaintop? Of course, you know you fail. So Nigeria must devise a new means completely of solving our problems, rather than this following every day. After they finish with radio, we'll copy that radio. They finish with a transmitter of 100 years, we'll go to that one. When they finish with analog, 100 years later, we'll join analog. We have to leapfrog now and join them where they are, whether we are qualified or not qualified. So when the Imo State depend on, my local government depend on Imo State. Imo State depend on federal government. Federal government depend on oil. Depend. And yet we say we are independent. Nigeria is only a political independent nation by expression, but economically we are still dependent. Our youth is only in Nigeria, you see young boys. It's only in Nigeria you see young boys roaming around the streets chewing sugarcane. In China, without clothes, going to factory, contributing to the economic development of their state. And when those boys produce toothpick, we import it here. I'm sure change will stop importation. 100%. We will not die. When one door closes, another door will open. So Nigeria be prepared for change. Not just expectations of you must have this without also referring to the price you have to pay. Everybody must make sacrifices in Nigeria for this nation to grow. Thank God, Dogba is a minister. And he's a man who has been preaching about this agriculture for so long. I hope he'll bring it to bear, and I know he'll do it. Time will not permit me to talk about the controversial issues of corruption, which I call primitive accumulation of wealth, and what to do. Time will not permit me to talk about prevention rather than cure in our security pursuit. Now we're addressing the issue of this must stop in the southeast before it gets out of hand. That's what is called prevention. In anything in life, prevention is cheaper than fighting. Time will not also permit me to go out to other critical areas. But let me say this while I exit for this time. I have some few minutes to say, with all this said, my greatest joy is that the right leader has emerged. All we need to do as a nation is to support him in prayers and cooperate with him. We must see this government as our own, irrespective of political party affiliation. It's not a government of APC for APC. It's a government of Federal Republic of Nigeria for Nigeria. And this is a new spirit with which I speak to you. But I believe that in the next couple years to come, and I had wished that President Buhari will continue in this way, and I pray this right direction has started, telling Nigerians the truth, no matter how bitter it is. Because I like he spoke in India, and some people were wagging tongues because he said the truth. Before we'll plaster, deceive Nigerians. Buhari will not deceive you. He will tell you as it is. That's the change that he presents. I believe that very soon, not distant from now, this our green flag, green, white, green, will fly over America, a couple years to come, fly over India, over Singapore, over Germany, commanding the commerce of those areas. I know that one day, not too far again from now, our youths again will no longer claim other nationalities, they will hit their chests and say they are Nigerians. It's my prayer that one day we shall all sit in the table of brotherhood and sing that old national anthem. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Though I believe that one day, that though we came in, with due respect to our founding fathers, we came into this restaurant of Nigeria, where we saw a big board, eat everything, for our forefathers have paid for it. Unfortunately, they didn't pay all for us. But we're now eating, drinking the oil. Shortly again, as we're exiting from that door, we shall see a new billboard, which is saying, pay for the future generation. We have to make sacrifice.